The hysteria goes back to his first tour of the States, when Morrissey broke box office records set by the likes of Madonna and Michael Jackson.
I think people now seeing concert footage or newsreel footage would be shocked. It was absolute pandemonium.
That was such a fantastic pinnacle, and I wasn't being a whore about it. I wasn't pushing myself forward, it just seemed to happen very naturally.
I was dancing when I was 12.
New York's Madison Square Gardens was sold out in a morning, faster than the Beatles, prompting a guest appearance from another legend he would later tour with.
Is it strange to dance so slowly? Is it strange to dance so slowly?
One night he'd say, I have a great idea. Just before you're finishing your set, I appear at the back and I come on and we sing one of my songs and you just slowly fade away and your musicians fade away and mine come on, which effectively deprives people of, you know, saying goodbye to me, if you like. So I thought that was very, very cagey. So I eventually left the tour and received enormous bad press for it, and he never spoke to me again. You have to worship at the Temple of David when you become involved. He was a fascinating artist, 1970, 71, 72, but not now.
If you spend any time with Morrissey, one of the things that you find yourself doing more than anything is sitting around, pot of tea on, dissecting and annihilating people's characters. It's his favourite thing in the world to do, I think.
All I said was bring me the head of Elton John, which would be one instance when meat would not be murder, if it was on a plate.
I mean, I think however nasty Morrissey can be in print about somebody, he's even nastier out of print.
Most people have nothing to say, and most people give you the same conversation every single day.
So what's been happening? Anything adventurous in the since I saw you last?
Not really. Sorry.
No,
Sorry about that.
Sort of Hollywood gatherings of nothing like that?
Nothing at all.
No.
No, just the usual life. It's just the same old patter, and you're none the wiser for knowing somebody for 5 years. That's why I do this music business thing, because it's communication with people without having the extreme inconvenience of actually phoning anybody up. I never make phone calls, ever. Never.
Why not?
Well, because mostly I don't really want to speak to people, and faxes are quicker.
Do you ever answer the phone?
No, I never answer the phone. No, never, never, never.
For some reason, Morrissey always communicates by fax.
Oh, zooming into the fax machine. Don't film the fax machine because it's the least expensive fax machine you can find on the American market.
5 faxes a day, maybe, would be normal for Morrissey. It's almost like text messaging with him.
They're beautifully written pieces of paper, written in sort of this 3-year-old style of writing, and it kind of is so consistent with what you would expect from him.
It was really disappointing, though, that the latest letter we got from Morrissey was actually done on a computer.
It was?
It's all over.
He must have broken his hand or something.
Not for the first time, Morrissey manages to remain a mystery to his friends.
The doorbell rang one day and he was on the doorstep. And quite ridiculously early on in the conversation, he asked me whether I knew anything about a comedian called Jimmy Clitheroe. Jimmy Clitheroe was a music hall comedian in the 40s and 50s who played a schoolboy. Morrissey was fascinated by this figure. I gave him tea in my house and then he would give me tea in his house. We never went anywhere or really talked about anything other than Jimmy Clitheroe.
He was born in a different age than his character was preparing him for, and I'm glad God made that particular mistake.
The idea of eccentricity was enormously important to understanding Morrissey. He has some affinities with figures like Francis Bacon. He's fully embraced his destiny as an eccentric. I am what I am, he says, but you aren't allowed to know what I am, and that's a very, very eccentric position.